Wow. Okay. What an opener. I got scared there for a second, Charlene. We try not to be ominous with, various different military things. How are you doing up there in Canada? Is it stopped snowing yet?
Oh, yes, it stopped snowing. We've had our shorts on and our sandals. It's wonderful. How are you?
Oh my goodness, fantastic shorts and sandals, unbelievable. Yeah, it's getting pretty hot down here in North Carolina in the United States. I think 80 degrees this weekend, 79 degrees on Fahrenheit. So pretty hot. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're thinking about the beach. Of course, on everybody's mind today with the Ronald Reagan International Film Festival, Ronald and Nancy Reagan. We're getting it together this week and trying to get everything in place. We've got Prince Kojo Hilton, who is joining us and going to bring Prince in. Prince has been announced as our brand new chairperson. And Prince, how are you in Africa?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing awesome. And how about you?
Yeah, I mean, we're just talking about the weather, and we think it's hot because it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you're in Africa, and that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's like winter.
Charlene, how are you doing?
Good, Prince. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Great.
I wanted to get you guys together also because you're our newest ambassadors, and you not have really met one another ever. And for everyone else out there watching today, to give them an opportunity to see who the new ambassadors are. Charlene Doak-Gebaurer of Canada and Prince Kojo Hilton of Ghana. So guys, you are the newest welcomees, and we're so proud to have you teach us the many things that you know. And I thought we would start today, just before we get into the film festival, we're so lucky for everybody watching this now live, for people watching it later, for folks watching this a month from now. We're so lucky in this regard to have Charlene. Charlene is a film producer herself, recently with Vulnerable Innocence, and her movie has done so well and won so many awards. Charlene, would you like to give us a broad brush introduction of yourself and a hello?
Well, hello, everyone. What a pleasure to be here.
Hello.
And I am considered an expert in online child protection. I have made it my life objective to protect children online. Our children need us more now than they ever have in the history of the world. And my family encouraged me to create a documentary about my theory of digital supervision, which I've created as a computer science specialist in education. I've made it user-friendly, and a number of people are very interested in knowing how to protect their children online. And the people that are interested are dead on to what they need to do. This generation is the most independent generation in the history of the world. And I must say that my subtitle for my film is The Internet, Are Children in Charge? Well, ladies and gentlemen, they certainly are in charge in most homes. And when you think about it, they're on their devices, they're on their cell phones, and they're doing everything on their own. How can we supervise our children? And it's through my theory of digital supervision on which my film, Vulnerable Innocence, is based, with 30 volunteers from around the world that want to protect our children online.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
so eloquently put. And we have actually your trailer today, which we can run. We're going to showcase that across the world in 205 countries and territories. But before we do that, I would like to move on to one of my favorite faves, Prince Kojo Hilton from Ghana, a very talented person, an artist, a painter, a producer, a director, just all around creative in many different mediums. He is not limited within his mind or hands to holding a paintbrush, as many of you witnessed in New York a couple of months ago on an all expense paid trip with the United States State Department. He was painting huge murals. And then he was down in Washington, D.C. for several weeks. He also is working in CorelDRAW and doing graphics and logos and design and movies. A very talented individual. I give you Prince Kojo Hilton.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Martin, for this opportunity. It's such a huge one, and first of all, thank you yourself and your team and the U.S. Presidential Service Center for giving me this mandate to carry out with this huge project, which is the film festival. To say a bit about myself, I'm a fine artist. I started drawing and painting at a very tender age. I got into theater through my uncle, who nurtured me in set design, special effects, makeup, special props design, and even carpentry. I mean, set construction. And I love this area. I realized that this is what I can do and can do best. So I invested all my time and invested myself. I invested in I ended up at the National Film and Television Institute in Ghana, where I studied art direction and production design. So I've done a couple of works in movies. The popular film Beast of No Nation, I was a scenic artist, and that film too. I also worked with Hollywood on the film Sense8, which was shot in 8 countries, and happened to be to work on the Kenyan version in Nairobi. I've done a couple of stage events, Ghana Meets Niger, a whole lot of stage events too. I've done a couple, and then theater productions. I've done things with Uncle Ebo White, Bulare, Empire Entertainment, and Charter House, and by the grace of God, this is where I have landed myself, and I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so proud of my family and everybody who is around me. That's me.
Well, thank you so much. You froze there for a second. I know it didn't feel freezing, but I was worried maybe we had you frozen up there. Thank you so much, Prince,
bless you so much
for handling the film festival. And really, the Presidential Center is for life. Once you serve, you just keep on serving. And I did 30 years in the American military, and people are always saying thank you for your service. And I always respond and say, I'm not done yet. I'm still serving. So through Rotary International, we have all become great friends, and also through the Presidential Service Center. And Prince, recently also you went to the embassy there in Ghana. You were an invited guest for Vice President Harris' historic visit to Africa.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. How cool was that?
So I was also invited as the guest to actually witness her speech at the Independence Square, and it was awesome. And as I was going, I prepared something, a surprise for her. So I did a portrait of her, which I handed over to the embassy, that's the Ghana embassy, to be handed over to her. Due to security reasons, you can't, do the presentation like that. So I know definitely she's going to get it.
I know you did a painting of Vice President Harris, and what I thought was so cool, Charlene, he did the painting in coffee.
Really?
So yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, the whole thing was painted in coffee. So just unbelievable. Well, what I wanted to do then was, of course, for today, we had developed a wonderful graphic up here. I think I'll put it up here where everybody can see. This was a nice little graphic we had for today. I'll put it up in the top corner there. And you may have seen this out and about. But also, we've been working on a couple of other graphics for the film festival. And we have these inside the marketing department now. And these were really nicely done. Prince had done these and worked on them in CorelDRAW. So this was another one he developed, and he's been adding some color to it also. And did you want to talk with us about your ideas, Prince, for the film festival? You had some ideas about optimism that you felt were really important.
Great. So first of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity and having me handle this huge task. In fact, our celebrants, they are huge personalities that not anyone can get close, so getting that opportunity to do this, to celebrate them, it's a very big platform for myself and my team as well. So as a filmmaker myself, I've always been praying to get to this level of my life or of my career where I can also review films, come up with my ideas, especially in the aesthetics, looking at movies through the aesthetic mirror, you understand? So I think this is a great opportunity for me that I can see people's films, a lot of films all over the world, and also share my ideas. Whatever I know about film and design, I can also share with the world. And I think this will be one of the most, different festivals of all time, because we are going to pay particular, attention to aesthetics in this festival. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me show another one here that we had you made, because you did so many of them. Honestly, you offered 5, 6 different ones for people to take a look at. This was another one that you had done. This was more in a square shape for the film festival, and I'll put it up with the wreath.
Yeah.
And then we had some longer ones, which were quite nice. I liked this one a lot with the camera, of course. I think well, it's kind of small to look at there, but of course the classic movie camera. Yeah, and one thing that I think was very neat that we discussed was doing this on the day they were married, which was March 4th.
Yeah.
So people have already been asking, as you guys get going with this and the webpage is brought up and films are submitted, there is going to be a small fee. I don't know if it's going to be $20 or something very minor to submit a film. And the film festivals we go to around here, do you have one up there that's a local one, Charlene, that you enjoy going to?
We have a lot in Toronto. There's a strong film community in Toronto, and I'm only an hour and a half from there.
Absolutely. And are yours pretty much like 4 or 5 days long, like ours?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and so I'll just go out there because I don't claim to be an expert in the film industry. I just want to make that clear. Okay, but we'll go and sign up, and like when you go in, say it's Tuesday night, they may run 4, 5, 6, 7 shorts. Then maybe take an intermission, and then the next part when you come back is 2 a bit longer, maybe 20 minutes each. And sometimes it's animated, sometimes it's not. All kinds of subjects and topics, and the night will wrap up with a longer film, many times from Cannes, which I know we're celebrating Cannes Film Festival this week, and sometimes it's from other places, the Toronto Film Festival, New York, Aspen, all over the world. But that last film at the end of the night is typically a little bit longer. And this maybe makes like a 2 to a 3 hour night at most. And you have your paper that you're voting at the end of the night. So our idea was to first see, what are you experiencing? Is that what you're experiencing in Toronto?
It would be the same idea, but on film festivals through Film Freeway, it's done through a committee that review the films, and then you find out where you place afterwards. But it's the same idea, for sure.
Yes. Yeah, and we talked about using them as a film submittal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prince?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's who we use here in Cleveland County with our Arts Council. They have about a 5-day festival here as well, and it's that format. The Film Freeway is that not the name of it?
That's
Charlie?
the name. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Film Freeway.
Yes, yep, they use Film Freeway. So I thought, if we were to at least get started, we also wanted to offer a cash prize for at least the winner. And then we wanted to create opportunities for people to make money in the film industry. Mm-hmm. So we thought that because we're digital, we would also be able to host commercials during the festival, and that leads to money-making opportunities for producers.
Right.
So when a person says, well, I actually don't have a commercial, I'd love to be a sponsor. Well, there's opportunity number one. And if they say, I don't have a commercial to run about my business, we could then go right back into our pool of entrants who have paid to enter, and go right back to them and say, hey, we have like 2 more sponsors that have come on that are talking with Prince, but they don't have a commercial. Would you want that work? And so this was a unique aspect of this film festival that we were discussing, Prince, like actually where a film festival is providing paid work to the entrants.
Yeah.
That you can make money off of the festival. You could also win money off the festival. Now, I've not heard of a lot of people doing that yet. So,
Sure.
what were your thoughts about that, Prince?
Yeah, it's laudable. It's laudable. I believe since our celebrants themselves are filmmakers. They were filmmakers then, we need to do something extraordinary. I mean, to put their names, still put their names at the top. So I believe that can help us.
And people have to make money somehow, and this is a starving industry. It's like the starving artist industry. It's not easy to break into this industry. Welcome to Dr. Shazia from India. Thank you so much for jumping in here and joining us today. It's not that easy to make money in this industry, so we thought that might be very important to create opportunity for people to make money.
Make some money.
Yeah, and by selling sponsorships and not really having a high barrier to entry with an entry fee, but by selling sponsorships, this would be an opportunity to have money available to give a cash prize. So, we thought that would be really cool. I'm going to go on ahead and jump over for everybody to please take a look at Charlene's website. And it is literally, is it okay to use vulnerableinnocence.co?
Yeah, CO. That's
yeah. So I would like to make that available to everybody. It's literally just the name of the film, and it is a secure socket layer website. So HTTPS. If you'd like to pop that in there, let me showcase that in a banner here for everybody to see, Charlene, how to get in there. And I've never been truly excited about the slash behind the web address, but for some reason it seems to be happy to put that in nowadays for everyone. Yeah, and if you wanted the shortened version to Vulnerable Innocence, honestly, I think, and this is sometimes confusing to people, but it would kind of look like this, just vulnerableinnocence.co.
Yeah. But
if that seems somewhat confizzling to folks, and sometimes we get those questions, hey, I didn't really understand it. The best way then is just the HTTPS, and you'll see the little padlock come up. So let's run over there and showcase the trailer. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to come in the front door, so we can kind of sort of show people what it looks like to come in the front door. Might be a little bit easier. And Charlene, did you want to tell us for a second a bit of information about building the website and what your thoughts were to put it together?
What website?
vulnerableinnocence.co.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I build my own websites. I do it all. And Vulnerable Innocence is there with information about the people that were involved. All the credits are on the website. We have the trailer, information about myself, because as producer and co-director, I do guest speaking about online child protection, which is a topic that people really don't want to talk about. But unfortunately, it's the reality of what's going on online. We're on IMDb and have a rating of 9.1 out of 10. And what's showing now are the 10 channels that the film is available on.
Right.
And a lot of those channels are worldwide. It won't matter where you live. You'll be able to see the film.
Yes. I thought this was really cool because I did find it on Tubi.
Oh, you did?
But yeah, some people love it on Amazon, and then others I had not heard about. Nuclear Home Video, Herigo. But yes, this is the whole listing right there. I'll just highlight that for everybody. If you're interested in watching the film, right now it has won 24 international awards, and the IMDb rating is 9.1 out of 10. So that is pretty darn good. Yeah, and these are actually, let me just showcase that poster a little bit better there, and I don't mind making it a bit larger, but you can see the number of awards. So quite nice to see. And yeah, if you're interested in a screening, definitely contact Charlene if you would like to screen it at a community center or your country club or for any other type of festival. I think you're open to that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The more it's out there, the more children may be protected. And that's my whole goal.
Yes. And I was watching this myself, and I think I know quite a bit. But, you know, nobody was more surprised to see the United States Secret Service agent arrested by the FBI, who was actually texting a young underage individual from inside the White House. It was part of a sting operation by the FBI.
Yeah.
So people think that, oh, this can't happen. And certainly since Marty worked for the White House, you know, those types of things don't happen there. They screen those people so well, and they have to go through a background investigation and to have a top secret clearance like Marty had, and that type of stuff doesn't happen there. And I think, you know, the stark reality of it is, Charlene, it does happen. That individual who was arrested was a Secret Service agent, and part of his whole text stream going back and forth with the child actually was while he was on duty inside the White House.
Oh,
so
that's so terrible. I mean, we need to protect our children.
Absolutely.
And this is at every level of society. A lot of people think, well, it's just, they have this picture of someone that would do this. It's everywhere. Doctors,
Absolutely.
lawyers, teachers, everybody. And it's in everyone's backyard. And it's time we woke up and started to realize it. And the harsh reality of what's in the film, everyone should see.
Yeah, and I bring that up just so that people realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to look that up on the internet. That can't possibly be true. A United States Secret Service agent was arrested by the FBI with a secret, you know, agent posing as the child. And part of the text stream was while, this is what Marty said today, was while he was on duty in the White House, he was actively texting with the juvenile back and forth. Yes, that's what I said. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, we have a 12-year-old daughter, and we have prepped her up on a lot of the things you're going to see in this trailer. Number one of which is fake people pretending to be a kid, and hey, why don't you tell your parents to go to such and such mall, and when you get there, I'll meet you back by the restrooms, you know, and that's where you get snatched and picked up.
Right.
Okay. Or something horrible happens and you find out that it's really not a fellow 12-year-old kid. So let me put on the trailer, and I'll make it a little bit larger, I think, Charlene. Mm-hmm. Let's see how large we can get this thing. That's a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay. Or would it be better to run it off of YouTube?
It's up to you, Marty. Okay. Let's see how it goes.
All right. Let me see here. We'll just put this on and take a break. Enjoy, everybody.
We'd love to be your friend. It's fun playing Happy Puppy with people online.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for being out.
My daughter's email account with the subject line that said, "Hey, sexy."
And someone was taking images and extorting her at the other end.
Children that are 6 years old have cell phones. They're getting internet connection, and you have to ask yourself, how is this happening?
Predators in the digital world is not something that we have much exposure to as physicians.
Anywhere the kids congregate, the pedophiles hunt them.
The
Chairperson was offering up a t-shirt as a prize.
The internet has everything that you'd find in Las Vegas. And I wonder if parents would turn up to Las Vegas with their children on a Friday night and say, off you go.
Children are naive and vulnerable.
This could be your child.
Like what? My friends do a lot of crazy stuff online.
Oh, yeah? Like taking off your shirt and sending me a pic? Well, you know what it says. Find a kid who's lonely and you'll probably have nude pics within 30 minutes.
It's my body. I can do whatever I want with it.
No, it's not your choice. You're only 13 years old.
Is this a discussion you want to have with police?
And then the second age group we see being perpetrated on a lot are peers.
In Africa, basically, and again Nigeria, there's basically no internet supervision of children.
I believe children in Iran and other countries are in danger online.
We have to digitize our parenting skills.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Charlene, for showcasing this. We do have to digitize our parenting skills, and thank you for also showing some of the unseemly tips for this area of how they get kids, like playing a game and things like this. It was pretty shocking. My wife and I are both criminally investigated for state and federal investigation to be in Boy Scouts of America, Scouts BSA, also for child predators and whatnot with Rotary International. We also had to be investigated, and you wait for the state and federal investigations to come back, and then you're all clear and you can be around children. But we still have new rules in scouting. We have 57 million children in scouting worldwide at scout.org. And so now, I was a scout as a kid. I never experienced any of the millions of problems that scouting had, the multi-billion-dollar lawsuits that led to bankruptcy. But we have new rules now where you're not allowed to be with a child at any time in any tent or office alone. There always has to be two-part. And we went away to summer camp last year, and one of the presentations that the medical director was making was, hey, if you're sick and you come up to the dispensary, to the first aid, building, remember to bring another adult with you, because I can't see you as the doctor in this building. It doesn't matter if you're bleeding or you have to have another adult with you. So that a lot of rules have changed, and watching those videos with our daughter, some of them are pretty scary. The people that come on and say, I was touched, I was violated, I was raped. I was in scouting 40 some years ago. I'm only allowed to give my first name as Jeffrey. And so now you have to watch all that and go through child protection every 2 years and get recertified, or you lose all of your rights as a Scoutmaster and as a merit badge counselor. Both of my wife and I are both merit badge counselors. So things have really, really tightened up. And the techniques that they learned from criminals was amazing. I found the techniques to be amazing. One of them is grooming, where they'll casually touch the child here and there to prep the child up, to get them used to being touched by the pedophile in various different ways. Even taps on the back and stuff. And so it got a little contentious with a good friend of ours of 20 years. He was staying at our bed and breakfast with his wife, and he said one night, Marty, I patted Rainey on the back and said, great job the other night. And she told me, like, don't be touching that. That's part of grooming. And I don't know where she's getting all that from. Like, I'm not trying to groom anybody. I'm like, Scott, I can tell you where this is coming from. We recently just went through this. She was a Cub Scout at the time. We recently just went through all this training, the videos, everything you have to watch. You know, it's like almost an hour long. And Charlene, I mean, how do you feel about these new rules and laws, even in like Scouting and Rotary International?
I think they're absolutely necessary. Unfortunately, the internet has made it so that these predators have found each other and they share ideas online. There's an online handbook, which is in the dark web. But the thing that you're talking about is in-person grooming.
Yes.
When you get to online grooming, it's a totally different picture. And that's why there are children being asked to do things. There was a study recently out of the UK from the IWF that children are being asked to do things on their cameras that parents don't even know about because there's really no supervision digitally. And those types of things that I won't describe right now are horrific. And these children are doing it because they can.
Right.
And they're groomed towards that purpose. So the in-person is one thing. It's the stuff online that is so insidious that it's very difficult to find out. And children lie. I don't know about you, Marty. I lied to my parents.
Of course,
like
I think we
crazy,
all did.
you know?
Come on.
I know. And when it comes to
Drinking,
the internet,
about everything, smoking.
Yeah. But on the internet now, they're lying. They'll say, "Oh, I never send nudes. No one ever talks to me about that sort of thing." And there's communications constantly online that we have to be aware of.
Absolutely. And the other thing was, it's very interesting. We're also forbidden from having any conversations with children on one-to-one. So it includes email, texting. There always also has to be an adult involved in that. And I had one of our daughter's friends was, you know, like when she meets kids and she doesn't have a phone, she tells them, like, have your mom and dad call my mom or dad. Here's their number. Well, this child was texting me saying, hey, can Rainy come out and play today? And I had to tell the kid like 2-3 times, I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not allowed to. I'm sorry, you know, have your mom jump on it. Well, she's asleep. I was like, well, I have to stop talking with you. If your mom's asleep on the couch and you've got her phone, I'm not allowed to have this conversation.
I'm glad to hear that, actually, because go ahead.
Oh no, I just was saying it was troublesome.
Oh yes, and you know, Marty, Prince, there are teachers that are being told that they cannot communicate with students online, like they can't do emails. Yet a lot of them persist in doing it, and unfortunately, these emails can be changed to incriminate someone. People have to be extremely careful with whatever they're doing, online and in person anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Charlene, I'm going to wrap it up. It's 3:08 p.m. I didn't want to stay on for like an hour today. Yeah. We are having a couple little problems keeping Prince on from Africa.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody for the questions coming in. I did enjoy the opportunity to introduce you to Prince. And I'll just say in closing today, I'd like to throw it over to Prince for any of his comments about the Ronald and Nancy Reagan International Film Festival. Prince, did you have any other comments and thoughts about this announcement?
Yes, great. Ever since this appointment came in, I've been doing a lot of research, looking up to other film festivals and what they do, which Ambassador Charlene also sent me a lot, and I've gone through. And then I'm hoping that after the launch of this festival, we'll have, in fact, it should be an international film where every country, I mean, all African countries can get on board and also submit their films to be reviewed, and also get to win some awards, get to learn something new from this festival. It's not just coming to exhibit your work, but then it's also going to be a means to impart, also educate the public about film, and also educate filmmakers too as well, so that each and every time we keep growing, we keep just learning from whatever we're doing. I believe education matters in all. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, buddy. We're glad to have you back. We lost you there for a second, but more to follow.
Was so bad.
Yeah, more to follow with how things will work, the opening of the website, more graphic design, and then the entry form will go up live to allow people to enter and submit any of your work. And I know that everybody is excited about us having animation category and allowing animation. My daughter loves animation. She loves stop animation, and the recent film Pinocchio, it was one of her favorites. She just loved that Pinocchio. So we're going to have a lot of different categories. Thank you everybody so much today, and looking forward to more information on everything to do with this film festival. Don't forget about the Malhar Film Festival. I'm going to end today with a commercial for the Malhar Film Festival, and we'll catch up to you guys soon enough.
Let's play a game. Kilby.
Thank you.
You know what?
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
ये लाइफ सेट वाली लाइन स्कैम
Yun medla.
सारा लाइफ सेट करते करते पूरी लाइफ ही बैलेंस हो जाती है.
You guys be good, and we will catch you later.
Thank you, Marty. I can't thank you enough. This has been absolutely unbelievable for me.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing. We appreciate you so much.
Oh, well,
Be good,
thanks.
Charlene.
Thank you. We'll see you.